Let's get it, fellas. Be ready to go. Together on three. 1, 2, 3. Together.
And you know what was great? We just believe it. You know, how you guys talked in a timeout when we were down 6 was, been here before, let's dig in and guard. We're gonna make, and the thing is, we got great physical and mental toughness. And we're gonna be in a lot of games like that. That's such a great trait to have. Have a great Thanksgiving. Let's bring it in right here. Great job.
Right corner, Astoria, 3 on the left hand. Point Notre Dame leads. Down and Notre Dame again. Short pass on over to Astoria. Drives baseline, reverse layup up and good. A brilliant drive.
At the rim, Bonzie Colson.
Now to Beecham who drives the lane for the posterizing jam.
Welcome, Irish fans, to the start of the 17th season of the Emmy-nominated Inside Notre Dame Basketball Show with Mike Brey. 17 seasons. When you got here, is this what you envisioned?
You know what? I am so thrilled that I'm still here. Love it here. And Jack, here we go again. We've been a great team for 17 seasons.
You have tied the second best start in your tenure here at 7-0.
We have a fun group, Jack. Back in June when they all got here for summer school, maturity, focus, intelligence, will to win. I love all of it. We've got a group that's going to get better and better over the next 5 months.
And you've already won a trophy. You've won a tournament, the Legends Classic in Brooklyn. Now, I know it's not an Elite Eight, it's not the ACC tournament, but for this team, and especially this group of talented seniors, it was important for them to win an early season tournament.
No question, to establish their identity. I told them the 2 Elite Eight teams, they never won a November tournament, so I think they were very motivated to do something we haven't done in a while. But our big 3 and our captains set the tone for us in Brooklyn.
You've sent a couple of guys to the NBA in each of the last 2 seasons, so there's always questions when you lose that kind of talent. You answered them big time last year, getting back to the Elite Eight. All the questions haven't been answered yet, but what did you learn about your team through these first 7 games?
Great maturity. Our leadership was fabulous, especially in Brooklyn. Our will to win and our poise in close games is something I'm very excited about.
When we come back, we will take you to Brooklyn for all the highlights of Notre Dame's victories over Colorado and Northwestern to win the Legends Classic.
Inside Notre Dame Basketball is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners, Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Basketball is also brought to you by Bank of America, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airline, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Ticket Exchange, powered by Vivid Seats. Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
You took on a very veteran Colorado team in the semifinals of the Legends Classic, but you've got a lot of veterans as well, and you took control of that game early.
We did, Jack. My biggest concern was could we rebound with them? Colorado, a big-time rebounding team. We kept it to one and done. We kept them off the offensive board, and when we do that, we can outlet and get into transition where we are amazingly efficient.
And your program's built on being old and those old guys leading, and certainly your big 3, the captains played exceptionally well. Beecham 17, that big jam. Bonzie Colson, a double-double, 22 and 12. Steve Astoria 17, including a drive that almost broke the ankles of his defender.
You know, our captains should deliver in that atmosphere, and they absolutely did, and I expected that. They set the tone for us, and I thought they helped the Matt Farrell get amazingly confident, and we almost kind of are evolving into a big 4 right now with the way Matty Farrell played.
Well, and it was the beginning of a homecoming party for Matty Farrell. Career high, 20 points, tied his career high with 6 assists, and really showed a swagger on that floor.
He has a great edge about him. I love that when I saw him in high school. I call it that I-95 edge, a tough Jersey guy. But his toughness physically and mentally definitely set a tone for us in Brooklyn.
So you win the semifinal over Colorado, 89-83, to earn a shot at what I think is the best Northwestern team of my lifetime.
They are very good. Chris Collins has done a heck of a job building that basketball program, a team that could get to the NCAA tournament this year. And we had to battle like heck. They shot the ball on us, had us down 6. We called timeout, and I'm so proud of the poise and toughness we showed coming out of a timeout down 6.
Because I think you had to be there to sense the momentum shift, because you got off to a good start in this game as well. You led for most of the way, and then with just over 6 minutes left, they take the 6-point lead. Their fans are going nuts, and you almost got the sense that, well, you just weren't going to get it this night, but your team came back.
There's no question. I thought our demeanor and our attitude and our talk in that timeout down 6 was fabulous. They believed, they came out, and even when it looked really bad down and we had to press and steal the ball, we still believed we could find a way. I just love how Matty Farrell drove it right down their throat to make a big play for us to escape and win it.
And even before that, he was part of a real momentum shift. The first time you grabbed the lead back, it was a Farrell alley-oop perfectly to Beecham.
That's a fearless point guard, down 1, and the play we make to take the lead is a lob from half-court dunk. I love that we play with nothing to lose and we're attacking. Matty Farrell helps us play that way.
And let's go back to that game-winning hoop. It wasn't just a strong drive. It was a spectacular shot.
It was a hard shot. He shot that off his hip, kind of fading to the right, got undercut. But you know what? He's a gifted guy. He's a confident guy. Jack, we started him in the NCAA tournament last year, and the confidence has grown all the way through the summer to what we are seeing now.
He wins tournament MVP honors, 38 points, 12 assists, and 4 steals in the 2 games.
It's one of those great stories that our culture of our program is all about. Guys getting better in the system, and then when we ask them to start, in that junior year, a lot of times, they're ready to deliver.
And certainly Vastoria, part of that culture, a guy who's always steady, always good. He made the tournament, all-tournament team, although you didn't hear much about it. But look at his numbers, 35 points, 6 assists, 4 steals, and in that game against Northwestern, you needed rebounding, he got you 8.
Steve Vastoria is off to an amazing start in his senior year, still doesn't get the respect nationally. He's one of the best guards that have ever played in our program, and he's a winner.
So the Irish win the Legends Classic with a championship game 70-66 victory over Northwestern. They weren't done. They got one more resume-building win over a Big Ten team right here on this floor in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. We'll show you all the highlights of the Notre Dame-Iowa game right after this.
Way to defend and rebound. Yes, sir. Way to defend and rebound.
Field goal percentage defense, 38%. 38%, you know. And great job in the second half because they come back. Good team, man. To guard an offensive group like that, hold them to 38% is really good.
Your team did a lot of things well against Iowa, but I know what you're most proud of is the defensive effort.
You know what I've loved about this group since the preseason started in early October? They really have embraced being a good defensive team. They play well together, unselfishly defensively, patient defensively. I like how we're evolving defensively as much as offensively.
Speak about evolving. Bonzie Colson, his 4th straight double-double, 24 points and an amazing 17 rebounds. He's only 6'5".
You know, I told somebody at ACC Media Day that Bonzie Colson could be an ACC Player of the Year candidate. They looked at me kind of sideways, but with what he's doing and how his game has improved and how he's added things, he's one of the best players in our league, and right now he's one confident guy.
The most athletically gifted player on your team is probably VJ Beecham, but he doesn't force anything. Had 16 in this game, though. 3 consecutive huge buckets that really helped you.
You know what I love about VJ now that he's a veteran guy? You know, we couldn't get him stuff early. Some of that's my fault. I got to get him in situations. But he didn't force anything. He let the game come to him. And then it gets to crunch time, and he just lights up and kind of puts Iowa away.
The big 3/big 4 is kind of becoming a theme. Vastoria good again, 22 points, career high 9 rebounds.
I love how he's rebounding the ball. We put him on Peter Jock, a gifted offensive guy. He does everything for us. He's such a winner. Still, again, you know, people don't, I think, realize outside of the coaches in our league how great an all-round guard that he is.
Matt Farrell, 16.7 rebounds, 7 assists.
And, went for the juggler in the second half. Big bucket, big three-point shot when we were down 1. He was looking to make plays when there was game pressure, just like he did in the Northwestern game. Love that about him.
Martinez Gevin, foul trouble early. You stick him in the second half. What a great effort. He ended up with 9 rebounds in just 11 minutes.
This was for Martin Gevin like Brooklyn was for Matt Farrell. To be in a big game with game pressure and come in and make physical defensive plays, rebound, and give us energy, I think a big stepping stone for him.
30 for 33 from the free throw line.
What a weapon. I thought in June when we started doing a little free throw contest that it would be an amazing weapon. I think we're second in the country right now. Not only do we make them, we get there and use it as a weapon.
So Notre Dame wins it 92-78 over Iowa. When we come back, we're going to take you back to the very beginning of the season when Notre Dame played the first 2 games of the Legends Classic right here on this floor against Bryant and Seattle. Those highlights coming up next. You looked really good in your exhibitions, but it's a little different when the games start to count. That very first game, your captains all stepped up and played well.
No, they were so excited to play, when the games really start to count. And I'm not surprised at all, Jack. Our 3 veteran captains have been part of such great success here. I thought they just wanted to really lead by example for the rest of the team, and they did.
So we keep running it down, but Colson, 23 points, 9 rebounds. Vastoria, 16 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. Beecham, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. And this was one of those games where V.J. Beecham made the game of basketball look easy.
He was flowing, cutting, moving without it, out in transition, shooting the jump shot. He's such a gifted offensive guy, and he's extremely confident given what he did in March last year during the NCAA tournament.
So you beat Bryant 89-64. 4 days later, a talented Seattle team comes into town, a Seattle team that gave Colorado a run for their money in Boulder, but they never really had a chance against your team. They got off to a great start, taking a 32-15 lead.
Well, the thing is, we were going to have to play against zone the whole night, which was good for us. They played that 1-2-2 matchup zone. We got a lot of great looks from outside. We shot it great, and we passed it great. 2 things that we are very gifted at, shooting and passing the ball.
You touched on the shooting, Coach. 10 of 18 from 3 in the first half, which really took control of the game. 6 players in the game finished in double figures, including T.J. Gibbs, had 11 points with 5 assists.
T.J. Gibbs is an important part of our rotation. He gives us a defensive energy when he comes in the game. He's up there in assist to turnover in the ACC. He can drive the ball down your throat. We just got to get him more and more comfortable. He's a key guy for us.
You had 12 steals in the game, 29 points off turnovers. Right now, as we tape this show, you're second in the ACC in steals at 8.1 to Syracuse at 8.2.
And that's what I mean about the defensive kind of identity of this group that they're proud of. We've got guys that have quick hands, great instincts. Our steals are coming because we're in good position, not that we're gambling.
So Notre Dame beat Seattle 92-49. There are 2 games left of the first 7. We've shown you the highlights of 5. When we come back, we'll take a look at Notre Dame's wins over Loyola of Maryland and Chicago State. 2 days after you beat Seattle, Loyola of Maryland came to town. Friday before a football game, atmosphere is always great, and your team feeds off.
Yeah, we were excited to play. I love those Friday night games. After a pep rally, the football crowd's in town. We had a great crowd, and we delivered. Our guys were ready to play, excited to play. We broke out the green uniforms for the first time. But again, I think your veterans, your captains, set a tone for you.
Well, and Beecham had a terrific night again, 21 points to help you break the game open.
Well, I think he's come in very confident, Jack. He's an explosive offensive talent that we're still figuring out how to use better in our offense.
And you got a lot of guys into this game. Every scholarship player who's active got to play. 9 of them played double-figure minutes.
Well, that's what I love. Some of these games, when we handle our business, we can get a lot of guys in there. It's important for T.J. Gibbs, Rex Fluver, Matt Ryan, Torres, and Bernsey and Johnny Mooney to get in there and get reps as well.
So you beat Loyola 83-48. Now we move to the Chicago State game after Thanksgiving, after you've won this little bauble in Brooklyn. And that's always an interesting situation. For the first time this year, everybody's saying, hey, you guys are great. How do you handle success?
Yeah, I kind of told them, who are we going to be after people telling us we're pretty good? We were off the radar in the preseason, but I thought we handled that just like you would expect from a veteran, mature group with mature leaders, and we handled our business.
Story of this game, Matt Ryan. Now, he had the stress reaction, missed a couple of weeks of preseason camp, but he came out on fire, hit 5 straight threes, a total of 7, career-high 23 points.
You know, it was an example of the weapon that he is. We saw it in the NC State game a little bit at the end of last year, but it's an amazing weapon. We just got to know how to use him and strategically put him in the game. But he is back, he's healthy, and he needed a game like that.
For people watching the show, it's become repetitive, but it's the kind of repetition that you want. Your 3 captains were very good again. Colson with, at the time, his 3rd straight double-double.
Yeah, I think those guys have come into the season just really setting a tone for us. They've been great examples to the younger players. They've helped grow the younger players, which is part of the culture that we have here. But the big 3 have solidly been the big 3 from day one.
And another good game for TJ Gibbs. He had 8 points and 5 assists in 20 minutes.
You know, TJ's up there in assist to turnover in the ACC. He is getting more comfortable in his role, coming off the bench, being a physical, tough defender, and an energizing offensive player for us.
So another good performance for the Irish, 91-60, the final score, Notre Dame over Chicago State. Now, as we go to break, it's time for our first Notre Dame ticket exchange, powered by Vivid Seats, Play of the Week. It's a play you've already seen in the show, but I think you'll agree it's a play worth watching again.
At midcourt, Farrell now with the basketball. Farrell drives right side, double pump, throws it up, and in! He made the shot, and he gets fouled!
That young man is becoming a grown man.
Favorite all-time movie?
Forrest Gump.
First car you ever drove?
BMW 3 Series.
Who was your role model?
My mom.
One thing the public would be surprised to learn about you?
I used to dance 1st through 4th grade.
Favorite NBA player?
Kobe Bryant.
Favorite thing to do when relaxing?
Watch Netflix.
Favorite part of practice?
Free throws.
Worst part of practice?
Stretching.
Best part of your game?
3-point shooting.
Part of your game you need to work on?
Posting up.
Ryan Humphrey.
Bruiser.
Ryan Ayers.
Shooter.
Eric Atkins.
Point guard.
Best defender on the team?
Steve.
Best leaper on the team?
Torres.
Best dunker on the team?
VJ.
Worst dunker on the team?
Bonzi.
Best dresser on the team?
Nick.
Worst dresser on the team?
TJ.
Best singer on the team?
Not Matt Ryan.
Worst singer on the team?
Matt Ryan.
Freestyle swimming race, 1 lap, who wins, you or Coach Brey?
Me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'd touch me out because he's 6'10". You know, I think he'd just get me with reach.
Coach, it's time now for our first, the experts at TireRack.com question of the week for you, Coach Brey. This week's question comes from Bill Oakley of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Coach, what challenges do you face after a highly successful season?
I love questions from Tobacco Road, by the way. We're pretty good last time I checked down
Very
there.
good, Dan.
You know, I think for this group, it was they were part of back-to-back Elite Eights. What was this team's identity going to be? And to understand nothing was going to be given, and we were going to have to work hard to create it.
Coming up for your team, a Sunday evening game against North Carolina A&T right here, and then a very interesting game against Fort Wayne.
Be good to be home here on Sunday night and play against A&T. But Fort Wayne will come in here very confidently. They've already beaten Indiana. They'll feel they can get us. And it would be a resume win if we could get them, because Fort Wayne's going to have a very good year.
So Coach and I will be back next week with a look at all the highlights of the 2 games we just previewed, and we'll take you along with the team as they took one of their practices this fall into the South Bend community. So until then, for Coach Brey, I'm Jack Nolan. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Irish.
Inside Notre Dame Basketball is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame partners, Coca-Cola, Under Armour, and Gatorade. Inside Notre Dame Basketball is also brought to you by Bank of America, Canon, Xfinity, Delta Airline, proud to be the official airline of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Ticket Exchange, powered by Vivid Seats. Nissan, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, SiriusXM Satellite Radio, and UPS.